Oh man, feels good, honestly. And the sun's setting, perfect timing. The sun's setting right there. Can't get any better than this. Really happy about this decision. Buenos dias a todos, Saturday 28th of December, and we wake up in a freezing cold weather here in Bolivia. So we started to make our way towards Chile, towards San Pedro de Atacama. It's 6:30 now. We've been on the road for 2.5 hours. We left at 4 AM this morning, and totally different landscapes on the way back. You wouldn't even recognize it. Just across that ledge over there, we just descended from the mountains. Totally different from when we were there before. When we passed through there, snow everywhere. Snow on the mountains. Even here, I'm at the Termas Aguas Termas, or whatever. The thermal pools, which was the first stop on the second day. So we've been on the road for a while now, and on the way here, you wouldn't even recognize the place. Just over that ledge where we came from, snow everywhere, snow-capped mountains, driving through the snow. Looked pretty amazing during the sunrise. Oh man, that is nice. It would be actually nice to go in if we had some time, but we are just having a quick breakfast and then we are getting on our way. Oh man. We have now made it back to the border of Chile and Bolivia, so just passed through immigration, leaving Bolivia now. It is 10 o'clock and I didn't realize there's actually a time difference between crossing this border, San Pedro de Atacama and Uyuni. Chile is 1 hour ahead, so it was 9 o'clock back there and now we move forward to 10 o'clock. Got my passport stamped, Salida de Bolivia, and you have to pay 15 Bolivianos for some Salida tourist tax. So here's just the border control of Bolivia and we are entering back into Chile. So not too far from here, maybe a 10-15 minute drive or something. Then we will reach the Chilean border control where we have to get another entry stamp and check in all that stuff. So as you guys saw, the drive here was beautiful. A lot of snow everywhere, totally different to when we were first here 4 days ago. But the driver that brought us here was a bit of a fucking prick. Didn't let us stop anywhere. He did let me fly Mav up once, but before I could get any good shots, told me to bring it back down for no good reason other than apparently it was dangerous that a lot of four-wheel drives was passing, even though we were in the middle of nowhere and the roads was wide as anything. Then when we were in an area where there was no other vehicles, just us in a wide plain and awesome views, then he had other excuses that he was late and he needed to get back to this place when we ended up having to wait 30 minutes in that line anyway. So a bit of missed opportunity with that backdrops. Not every day you get to see something like that. Snow-capped mountains, driving through the snow in a four-wheel drive, just smashing it through the landscapes. But at least I was able to get one shot with Mav and then a couple with this camera, so I guess that'll have to do. So now we're transferring out of that four-wheel drive back into the white van, heading back to San Pedro de Atacama. And we have finally made it back into San Pedro de Atacama. Finally. It's 1:30 now, just having lunch, and it is hot here. You'd be surprised how different it is traveling back from Bolivia, just like an hour and a half, how much the temperature changes. While we're at the border in Bolivia, when we crossed into Chile, that was at 4,500 meters elevation. It was cold over there, and we literally dropped like 2 kilometers, 2,000 meters to get back to San Pedro de Atacama. So as we dropped the elevation, temperature went up and we are back into desert weather. back into desert temperatures. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but I've got a flight back to Santiago tonight at 6:30 from Calama Airport. So I think it's about an hour or so away from San Pedro, which is the main hub to get to this little town, and that leaves at 2 o'clock. So I've got 30 minutes to eat, and I just went into town and just finished off a few things, bought me souvenirs, bought me magnets here. Magnets, very important, San Pedro and Valle de Luna, which is the tours that you do around here. Now also, exchanged my money. As you guys know, I like to collect the notes and currencies in each country. It's turning out to be a very expensive enterprise, but you know, gotta do it. Since the Chileno peso is bad at the moment, it's kind of good to travel around Chile at the moment. But for one Argentinian peso, it's 14 Chileno pesos. So I've got the 1,000, the 500, 200, 100, the 50, the 20, the 10, and the 5. So those are the notes for the Argentinian peso. There are 9 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought there was 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I guess there's 8. And since I went to Bolivia, got to collect the notes there as well. So the bobs, the Bolivian Bolivianos. Now one bob is 122 Chilean pesos. So for the bobs, you've got a 200, 100, a 50, a 20, and a 10. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 notes in total. So in bobs, I've got 400 bobs here, and it's about 4 bobs for Australian dollars, so $100 here. So yeah, that's enough yapping. Just at my favorite restaurant here in San Pedro de Atacama. Got my salmon salad and hamburger coming soon, so just gonna munch this down and then make it to my bus this afternoon. See? Made it to Calama Airport, and I'm nearly gonna board our flight back to Santiago, back to where it all began. And I've got to say, South America, Patagonia, Chile, Argentina has been awesome, but I am so excited to just go back, chill the hell out, and not do anything for a while. And as you guys know from the last few videos, I've changed my mind so many times how my trip was gonna end up, if I was gonna continue up north, do Peru, Bolivia, probably Ecuador and Colombia. And then I kind of changed that, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go to Southeast Asia for the last few months, and then flights were too expensive to go back so soon in January. So now I think I'm gonna head to Central America, try to do some diving there while I'm in South America anyway. So just excited to go back to Las Condes, get some good Wi-Fi, some good internet, and plan the rest of my trip out. Book my flights, contact dive shops, do my dive master training, book the liveaboard in Asia, book my flights to Asia. So I guess that's it for my South American adventure pretty much. Did Chile and Argentina for like a month and a half each, so covered both countries pretty well, and a few days in Bolivia. So definitely have to go back and do Peru, Ecuador and Colombia, Brazil even, and others properly. But yeah, plenty of time. I don't need to rush the whole continent on this trip, and yeah, have a lot of other things to focus on and a lot of other things I want to do, which I want to get my life sorted once I get to Santiago. So flight's at 6 o'clock now, people are lining up. We'll get there at 8 o'clock, it's a 2-hour flight, and then head back to Las Condes where it all began. Have now made it back into Santiago. Who would have thought in a million years I would be back here? But honestly, I am happy to be back in the big smoke. So I can do it the hard way, catch a bus, go to Parajito station, catch a metro to Las Condes and walk. But ain't nobody got time for that. I just want to go back to the apartment and settle in. So Trans VIP is gonna do it tonight again. So you can spend $5 on a bus and a train to get into the city, but this ticket, $20, not too expensive, not like catching a taxi. So this is the most efficient way to get back to the apartment. Oh man, feels good, honestly. And the sun's setting. Perfect timing. The sun's setting right there. Can't get any better than this. Really, really happy about this decision. Hola.
Hola.
Puerto 3 de Las Condes.
Sí, los polos compartidos.
Yeah.
Sí.
I'm back. Hola.
You're welcome.
Hi, good to see you guys. Good, thank you. Hola.